Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I have an unboxing of the REDMAGIC 10 Pro. Let's get started. This is the new edition of this gaming-focused device that debuts a very attractive cooling system, which in conjunction with the Snapdragon Elite promises a completely positive gaming experience. Its global launch price is $649. In fact, it would also be that same amount in euros. And it will also already be available at the REDMAGIC Mexico store in case you want to purchase it from Mexico. Let's take the device out of the box to see what's in it. And well, we find this envelope that in turn will have inside the key to remove the SIM card tray, something expected. And subsequently, we're going to have the case with some quick information. But what's interesting here is that this case comes with a hard case construction. Obviously, it's not completely rigid, but it's not made of silicone. It's made of a much harder plastic. The back has a texture that generates this interesting relief as well. And although it practically does not defend the right or left side, it does defend the top and the bottom in a good way. In a moment, we will place this case for you to tell me if you prefer to use it with a case or without a case. And well, here we are directly with the device that, as you can see, has a very reflective cover on the back, even though it is a black design. You can practically see me all the way in there. Personally, I don't really like these reflective designs, so I think I would use this device with a case to have this matte finish that for me is more pleasant. But you tell me, do you prefer the device with case or without case? We're going to leave the device on over here while we see what else comes in the box. And we come across the charger, which is with USB-C. Obviously the cable comes in red as well, from USB-C to USB-C. And the power of this included charger is 80 watts. So we'll test for the review also how long it takes to charge, so you have that specific data. For now, that's all that comes in the box. Let me keep all of this content so we can take a closer look at the phone, and let's see what it has to offer. I already have the device set up, so let's get to know its specs. It is 8.9 millimeters thick and weighs 229 grams. It debuts liquid metal cooling and has a 12,000 square millimeter vapor chamber plus dedicated fan. So it's a cooling expert. The screen has a diagonal of 6.85 inches. Its resolution is 2K 2688 by 1216 pixels. And it offers us 144 Hz in its refresh rate. In this sense, it is an extremely attractive screen that also brings a camera under the screen. I'll show you the results in a moment. It also includes stereo sound with a speaker on the bottom and another speaker on the top. As you can see, it also has a headphone jack. This front camera is 16 megapixels with f-aperture 2.0. And although in the preview the result is not so attractive in backlight and level of detail, after taking the picture, I think it makes a good processing, improving the detail well. It seems to me that this generation of camera under the screen is surprising a lot in photography. We would have to see more later in video quality, but for now I like the photo quite a bit, considering that it is not a camera that gamers are going to use too much. But you're looking at another example of indoor backlighting, and it's still an attractive result. And one last example without backlighting indoors, and again the result looks great. For the back we will find three cameras. First, the ultra-wide camera of 50 megapixels with f-aperture 2.2. And then there is the main camera also of 50 megapixels with f1.9 aperture and optical stabilization. And finally, the amazing 2 megapixel macro camera. Better swim. There you're looking at some examples of the ultra-wide camera. I think it has good picture quality, although not as much level of detail. The main camera also takes good pictures with good detail. Even with the 48mm focal length, we see that it does maintain good quality. So despite not having a telephoto camera, it is still good at intermediate zoom. But the maximum zoom is 10x, and it doesn't show as much detail. It's not a specialized photography device, so I don't think we could get too picky. However, there again, you're looking at the portrait results that let us take them at 24mm and also at 35mm by applying a bit of digital zoom. It doesn't seem to have the most accurate foreground detection in the world, but I insist it is not a device for photographers. Its battery has a capacity of 6,500 milliamp hours with 80-watt charging included in the box. It definitely looks like a big battery, although usually a big battery that supports so much load comes divided into 2 units, and when that happens, usually give us a lower autonomy than expected. That I tell you as an experience after having tested several devices, but we will have to test this one specifically to see if your battery really meets your expectations when you read that figure. In this case, we find Android 15 with REDMAGIC OS 10 running on it. It is excellent news to see an updated operating system. By the way, I remind you that on the sides, it integrates touch triggers that you will be able to map to replace the digital buttons. In a moment, I'll show you a bit of the gaming experience. It comes with 512 gigabytes of internal storage in this configuration, although the most basic edition is 256. Notice that just turned on it had 39.36 gigabytes available. The base version has 12 gigabytes of RAM, this one has 16, and there is one with 24 gigabytes of RAM. And note that it also has virtual RAM that you can use to extend its capacity, although I don't recommend it. And the processor is the Snapdragon 8 Elite. But as I tell you, in conjunction with the tremendous cooling system, it should give extreme power. So here are some benchmarks for reference. On Geekbench, it gave us 3,183 points on single core, and on multi-core, it exceeded 10,000 points. I think it's the first device I've tested that exceeds this figure. It is exaggeratedly powerful, and in Antutu it gives us 2,647,161 points. That is to say, it is very powerful. And well, at this moment I quickly entered Genshin Impact, and by default it's already in high graphic quality, but let's turn it up as high as possible. In this case, Genshin Impact does not yet optimize your game to support 120 frames per second, but this device I think has plenty of capabilities to run it at this quality. So watch, it behaves exaggeratedly smooth. We're going to find over here the monitor that I've already activated, and it's constantly showing us 60 frames per second. I think it's going to be quite difficult to find any fluctuation in the frames per second in a device that has this processor and this quality in the cooling. It is really spectacular what REDMAGIC has achieved in this device with respect to the level of power it reaches. In addition, I remind you that it has a tremendous suite of options when you are playing, several additional plugins. In this case, they can show you here one by one. I inadvertently lowered the brightness and was about to lose, but let's go over here so you can see how even in a combat scene is going to have excellent performance, obviously. As I say, we couldn't expect anything less from such a powerful device. It's really spectacular what it can give us in terms of performance. I don't think there's going to be another device this powerful this year, and especially at this price. Because remember that REDMAGIC manages super competitive prices considering the level of power it has. Although it obviously makes some sacrifices in the camera and other aspects where it will not give you so much priority. But I guess those who like gaming a lot and are willing to sacrifice some photography things will find this device as one of the most attractive without a doubt. There you are seeing the excellent performance that it has had when you are running each of these things. And well, let me show you some of the other tools that it includes, because now I am using the buttons that are inside the screen. But I remind you that this device is going to allow us to have buttons through touch triggers, which is something that we have already seen for several generations. But if you didn't know about it yet, let me show you this tool that's right at the top, and now we're going to activate these triggers to place these buttons exactly where we want them. As you can see, you can even configure whether you want it to work as a single tap or as a hold down, and some other more advanced behaviors. But notice how in this case it is already mapped to jump with this button. It responds pretty fast and with an on-screen feedback to have the indicator. And here on the other side I also set the button to hit, so I think there's no question that this is a device that's going to give us an excellent gaming experience. And in fact, in this generation there are new plugins. Notice that, for example, one of these plugins is to raise the image quality of the game, although it's not compatible with all games. But I will tell you in the review what you can use. There is also a new counter that you might need for some specific content. That they've now also added gestures to enable some of the buttons. So all of a sudden, in shooter games, you could generally use a gesture in this way to reload the gun and things like that. so a lot of additional things have been added when you're playing the game. You can even change some sensitivity wheels to adjust the size so that it's a much broader spectrum that you have when you manipulate some things. So REDMAGIC, I think, is still the king in everything that has to do with running games. Not only because of the excellent hardware it incorporates, which in this generation has taken a brutal leap, but also because of the software tools that will surely improve your gaming experience a lot. So note that here we are still at 60 frames per second. Here we have another Asphalt Unite content, and we're going to put it in better quality at 60 frames per second. Everything is going to be selected at the highest quality possible. Notice that this game adapts a lot depending on the capabilities of the device, but it's very good quality. Then we are going to restart the game and go back in, and as I anticipated, this device has power to spare. I think a number of Android games are falling way short of really taking advantage of the power that a device like this could achieve. We definitely hope that in the future several games will continue to be updated to receive interesting developments in terms of graphic effects that can get to show on a smartphone. For now, we could still run these games, as I say, with a lot of ease without any problems, and this device is not going to notice that it gets hot or anything like that. Notice that it keeps its 60 frames per second completely stable. So in the review, I'm going to show you, of course, many more games, even heavier than the ones I've shown you right now, so you can be 100% sure that this device doesn't have any problems or difficulties when running each of these things. And finally, note that, for example, here in PUBG, we will have 120 frames per second to play and enjoy maximum fluidity. As I say, it will depend on each developer and how they adapt their games to take advantage of all the capabilities that this device has, but it is very clear that we find a lot of power to have a very high performance. So for the moment, we have reached the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Remember that soon we will have available the full review of this device, and we will test many more contents in detail so you can see even its stability graph, temperature review, and other things. For the moment, we have come to the end of this unboxing and first impressions of this device that will undoubtedly be the most attractive today for gamers. See you next time.